Hello and welcome. This is ABR Black Friday special on the ABR Fascia Gel, and unlike most of the commercials that you are being bombarded with now, this is about the thing that actually works and brings great value. So this is really something which works so well, or which actually works in such a way that the question that is asked, even if it's sometimes not announced, is actually very simple. It's like it's too good to be true. Like instead of doing any kind of physical manual work on rehabilitation of my child, we just apply this kind of transparent gel and then things change. Is that really possible? So that is really the driving basis for it, because the families of the children with cerebral palsy are so used to having things in a difficult way that something which comes easy doesn't really sound real enough. And that is really the key question that I'm trying to address through the videos, through the comparisons, through the attempt to give you a clear picture of what does it actually mean to work, and kind of bring a very simple two-step logic for you. That if it works, even in the cases of the extreme tests, then if your child doesn't have those extremes, it definitely works for them as well. So this time we brought, in our previous promo, we brought two cases which are not even related to the cerebral palsy. The elderly people with one is an amputee, the other one with a loss of vision, and so on. So just to show you the dimensions when this additional focus with the ABR Fascia Gel actually brings the results. But this is something which is very, very fresh. It's just coming from my last week's visit to Norway, where between 2024 and 2025 we have this great example of the changes at the massive scars. So these are the scars related to the hip surgery done twice at the same place, sort of scar over scar, and thus translating into a huge mass and fusion and so on. And here we see 2024, 2025, which is comparing really those scars closely. I took this photo, but I'm also going to add the video clip at the end of this video clip. So if you really want to understand it better, so please stay further to watch it. But this is just to show that things are really changeable at the extremes. Even the worst fused cases, they are being addressed, because the result that we are seeing here is the result of the yearly work, 10 minutes of the Z-Vibe applications and twice a day applications of the gel. So that is really a mix that was applied here to get this huge, incredible scar transformation, which also relieved the positioning of the leg, all sorts of discomforts, and so on and so forth. And then another question slides in, like, okay, I see this for the child with the massive scars, but if my child doesn't have massive scars, or in the areas of the body where my child doesn't have massive scars, what's going on? Why does it matter for me? And this is, again, if you watched any of my webinars, I pretty much always use these quotes from Jean-Claude Guberteau and his videos Strolling Under the Skin, showing the relationship between the skin and the muscles, pointing out that the dynamic muscles are plugged into the static skin. So the same way they're also plugged into the static periosteum of the bone. So in order to control the displacement, meaning the movement of the muscles, they have to be plugged in into this muscle sandwich. And this muscle sandwich, the better it is, the more diverse and minute and kind of spread around this surrounding mesh, the better is the control of the muscles. And vice versa, if the case is the opposite, and then instead of this good mesh, we have gluing when everything just merged and fused together, then you have troubles with the muscles. It's as simple as that. So what is the scar? The scar is an extreme example of this mesh being just cut through and then merged to the extreme. So meaning that if we see the improvement of the mesh in the worst case scenario, well, what does it mean? That in the easier scenarios, when it's glued enough to trouble the muscles, but not enough to be declared a massive scar, well, if the fascia gel combination with the microvibro tools gives us these results, well, what does it mean? That means simply that we have to consider this in the other areas: lumbar spine, abdominal part, neck, shoulder blades, upper chest, hands and feet, all these areas where the skin is relatively thick and the muscles are relatively small. The greater is this disproportion, the more important is the role of this ungluing. That's really as simple as it gets in this message. And then that's pretty much all I have to say, is that please don't make things too difficult for yourself. It works. We show it through variable spectrum of examples. So here we are. That's a special Black Friday offer. Please go ahead and just give yourself the best opportunity to get this skin gluings and fusions unglued. Release additional 10, 15, 20% of the muscle participation for free, pretty much in terms of the zero effort, and just go ahead with it. I hope this helps and clicks the right gears, and as I said, I hope it explains more and being more beneficial than just your average Black Friday commercial that you are obviously inundated with now. Thank you very much, and I hope that you will also watch the extended version of this video where I'm showing these comparisons and the progress of the scar in a more detailed way.